Good afternoon once more. So let me get one little question out of the way someone asked me. Someone said in my private messages that, hey, I notice you always wear a hoodie whenever you're in your car. Is your car that cold? And plus, some people actually point out, I know you live in the east coast of Virginia. I know it's hot. I have this condition where the heat doesn't really bother me. Yes, I do sweat. I got something in my eye. It's probably cat hair. I got a cat that molts. But it's okay. It's okay to sweat. At least I don't stink when I sweat. But yeah, it's no big deal. My thing is I cover myself so much because my dad had like a little spot that was the beginning stages of skin cancer. Was it melanoma? From being out in the sun so much. So I if I'm not gonna wear something to cover my arms or anything, I use sunscreen. You know. And I know some people will say sunscreen is just as bad. Not the sunscreen I use. It just covers it. It just keeps the ultraviolet rays off you for being too off the bed. I made it a habit to always cover my arms. And if my legs are gonna get sunburnt, I cover my legs. But if I'm gonna be indoors, I just wear something I can just shed off later. But anyways, we're not talking about skin health right now. We are talking about sorry, I get moments where I just forget. But I really want to get this message out there. You know, whenever I drive, especially with the retrograde happening, I ask people, you know, to please show consideration when they're driving or when you're out in public. Show consideration, you know. I mean, if you don't care about yourself, at least show that you care about somebody else, you know. And if you don't care about anybody, not even yourself, then you really shouldn't be out in public. You really shouldn't be out in public. You should at least stay, you know, home. You know? You should at least stay home. Because nobody really deserves your attitude. Nobody deserves your bitterness. Especially if you don't know them. They're probably a good person. You know? I can't tell you how many times I've, in my field of public work, all my fields of public work, I'd have somebody be unnecessarily cynical and hateful to me. And I don't take it personally. The way they act and treat me is a reflection of what's going on with them. You know? Whatever their reason is, it's no reason to treat somebody else that's not even affiliated with you and doesn't even know you. Me being a reader, I automatically know where they're hurting and why they're doing what they're doing. Chances are it's somebody that just likes the power of manipulating people's feelings and hurting them, knowing that they've put a dent in their day. Like, later on, they're going to think about me. They're going to have to get rid of all that feel bad laid on them. Some people actually, they don't know no better. They don't know no better. Either they were raised that way or something happened to them. But thing is, nobody should really judge. Nobody. Even I shouldn't judge. But we have a habit of doing that. And you know what? We're learning. You gotta be kind and forgive yourself. You know? Life is, it's not permanent. We'd rather think of monetary things rather than, mortal things. Or immortal things. Not immortal, but immortal. And mortal things. When you're a kid and you have a bad attitude, and your mom or dad or whoever, a teacher, tells you, check your attitude. Well, just because you're 18 plus years old or 20 plus years old or 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 to 100, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't, it doesn't mean you should stop checking your attitude, because chances are, if your attitude stinks, then you never know when you're going to need help. So being ugly to somebody, isn't going to help you or do you any favors. It might make you feel good for a second, but still it's no reason to treat anybody like crap. I'm hurting, that's why I'm mean. What did I do? Did I go over to where you were at and wherever you started hurting, did I beat you with the baseball bat to make you hurt? No. I have arthritis. Did I give you arthritis? I have bursitis. Did I give you bursitis? If nobody, gave you a problem and it's just something that happens, you don't need to take it out on everybody. And people that don't have it, don't treat them like crap. Can't tell you how many times in my own household somebody has a bad day. Somebody will have a bad day and they lash out and bite my head off. I'm just like, did I fuck your day up? Did I mess your day up? No, I didn't. Did I go to your job and wreck your stuff and cause you to have a bad day? No, I got my own job to go to. Well, I had a bad day at home. Did I go to your house and cause you to have a bad day? If the answer is no, then don't take out your bad day on somebody else. And if something seriously is going on with you, then don't take it on people that don't deserve it. If somebody at your home, work, or school, or whatever, is causing you to have a bad day and making you feel bad and rotten, confront them. And if you can't confront them, cope with it. Don't bottle it up for a rainy day. Nobody deserves it. Life is too short to treat anyone terrible, mean, make them feel bad. Because you don't know if the day that you are rotten and hateful to people is the last day you have. You don't know if that's your last day. And the person you are mean to, well, what if you're the straw that broke the camel's back? And what if, listening to me, you don't know that you could be the straw that broke the camel's back on somebody emotionally and cause them to do something terrible to other people or themselves. You don't know what other people are going through. Don't add to someone's problem. Don't add to someone's pain. We got enough of that. Naturally. Life naturally dishes out pain. You don't need to add to it. We are not children. We are evolving human beings that have the capability of changing our attitudes, changing our situation. If we've evolved from using sticks and rocks as tools, what's stopping us from evolving mentally and emotionally? What's stopping us? I'm not stopping nobody. You shouldn't be stopping nobody. I don't think anyone can stop anybody from evolving. If the will is there, there's always a way to better yourself, change yourself. Don't stop yourself from changing for the better. Don't stop anybody from changing from the better. Oh, but I don't want my friend to, grow apart from me. Well, then catch up. Try to meet them halfway. But if they're changing for the worse, don't follow. Try to gently encourage them to come, and change for the better. And if it doesn't take, it's up to you to decide whether you can tolerate it or not. You know the saying, check yourself before you wreck yourself? Let me break it down. It's not just a saying. It doesn't necessarily mean someone's gonna, wreck you. It means check yourself before you screw something up that's important to you, possibly. Before you wreck a good opportunity. Karma is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you continually do crappy things, say crappy things, have a crappy attitude, you're gonna have a crappy life. If you continually try to be positive and good to people, and try to be good and positive, you're gonna have a good and positive life. Things won't be as hard. You'll be able to sleep better at night, probably. But, oh, that's a beautiful dog. But, thing is, man, people sure are nosy. Have people craning their neck to watch me, or trying really hard to listen to what I'm saying. I've got nothing but positive stuff to say. I remember I did a live one time. This guy overheard me talking about uplifting yourself and bettering yourself, and all of a sudden, he just was like, life isn't fair, and you deal with the hand that you're dealt with. I'm like, you don't have to. You can change it. Just because you're financially okay, this is not weird at all. that guy had a whole parking lot to go around, and he decided to get like really close to my car and go behind me. Why is it when I talk about real deep, positive things, people get weird? Do I look weird? Is it not normal for someone to sit in their car with a hoodie on at 90-some degree weather? I'm actually not sweating. It has to be... I think I got used to heat in Oklahoma. Like, it literally has to be in the hundreds for me to be sweating and peeling off my clothes going, I'm hot. Screw this. I'm going inside. No. 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 So... But yeah, the term check yourself before you wreck yourself means check your attitude and check your demeanor before you lose out on opportunities, lose out on the possibility of having a good day or a good week or a good month or a good whatever life, you know? What we say, what we think and feel, and what we do are like ripples in a pond. You know? Anything can change the current of the water. Life is like water. Life is not good and is not good and it's not bad. Life can be good and bad. Like water is just water. Life is life. So it only matters in what you do with it. You can make water hurt people by boiling it and throwing it at somebody. You can make water beneficial by keeping it nice and cold and rehydrating somebody. If someone's really hot, I'm pretty sure they'd welcome a nice splash of cold water on their face. Unless they're prissy. I'm kidding. So, water can give life. It can nurture. And on the other hand, it can drown you and cause erosion. So, water is water. It only matters in how it's distributed. How it is used. Naturally or unnaturally. The human body cannot survive without water. True. We need water. Everything needs water, really. Including a cactus. They're made to hold their water. And when they do finally eventually get it, June bug. Okay. When they do finally get it, they hold on to it for dear life. Even the desert animals can't live without water. They find a way to get into a cactus and drink. Life. Everybody needs it. Everybody has it. It only matters in how you live it. So, before you get a bad attitude, Take some time to yourself. I know a lot of people say, my bad attitude don't bother nobody. That's not true. That is the most untrue thing I've ever heard. I mean, there's worse, but your attitude, your life, does affect everybody and anyone and everybody. Anybody and everybody. It affects everyone and everything. Shoot. It even affects objects. How many times do I know someone that's like, I'm having a bad day and my car's screwing up. They take it to the shop if it's screwing up too off of bed, and next thing you know, there's nothing wrong with the car. It's just their attitude. Or your Wi-Fi signal drops in your own home and you're like, my router's fine. I don't understand. Chill out, calm down, get away from your phone, get away from the TV, go in the bathroom, make you a bubble bath, sit down, and check yourself. Or lay down on your bed, listen to some music, and check yourself. Believe it or not, the music you listen to, it also affects you too. I guess in a way I have a little crutch when it comes to music. Depending on how I feel, I'll listen to something. And if I want to be productive, I'll listen to trance music or rave music. If I want to be calm, I listen to, well, peppy, upbeat trance music or culturalistic music like Viking music or Celtic or stuff like that. What the hell? Sorry, I just got freaked out a little bit. So the thing is, that can help too. You can also try just, I don't know, going to a river or a lake, chilling out, having some quiet time. Because the only thing you got to listen to is the feelings and the thoughts in your head. Bottom line is, in order to change your emotions and your mind and your outlook, is you have to have mental and emotional self-discipline. And you also got to know how to cope with stuff that you're dished out on the daily. How do you think police officers deal with what they deal with, or psychologists, or doctors? Those are professions that do render some compassion and empathy. And after a while, it can get to you. You gotta learn to cope properly. Deal with what you are dealt with. Mental and emotional self-discipline. That's how those people do really well with their jobs. They are mentally and emotionally disciplined. No, pills don't work. It just masks the emotions. I have depression, but I don't take medicine because it doesn't fix the problem. The reason why we can't cope with a lot of our things is a lot of us have not been taught how to cope with things. What the heck is that? Oh, it's a rock. Coping is a very important, vital thing. Like breathing. So, like my karate instructor said, roll with the punches. You gotta learn to anticipate things so you're not caught off guard too. I heard something really funny a few days ago. I had someone say, man, I bet life being a psychic is so easy. I'm like, no. I asked them, I said, what gave you that impression life is easy as a psychic? Well, you get to know what happens before it happens. No, not always. A lot of us really don't want to know the future. I mean, you know things that are pretty upsetting, and it's just terrifying. Because you're only one person. How are you gonna fix something? How are you gonna stop something from happening if it's terrible? 9 times out of 10, another one. Sorry. Nosy people. 9 times out of 10, it's something so big and horrendous that you don't know how to even stop it or alter that future. Like I know there was a show about this guy getting a newspaper every day, on something that happens in the future, and he tries to stop it or something. And some of them are things that you can't change. He would keep having to relive until he did something to alter the newspaper. A building in New York collapses, and one child found dead in that building, and he's having to relive the loop over and 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 over. And his friend was a blind woman, and she was a psychic, I think. And it was just really I don't know. Well, bottom line is that show talks about knowing the future may not always be the best thing, because chances are you're not meant to change it. Some things are meant to happen, and it is what it is, because some things are meant to happen and you can't change it. We can make it either better, or we can make it worse, or change it altogether and something else happens for the better or worse. I mean, there is a spider web of possibilities. Like, the decision you just made could be an opening for 5 other decisions you can make, and you pick one of those, and then there's like an umpteen million versions of the decision you made, with just small differences to big differences. It's like your actions change everything, and it echoes and ripples. Your future is constantly always changing. My future is probably changing with every single word I say. That is a possibility. Some people have these big, huge things that they're meant to go through, and it's never going to change. Like, for instance, I know that I'm going to have, where it stands now, I know I'm meant to have 2 or 3 kids in the future. I don't know how I know. I just know. But yeah. Also, reading your palms could be a good indicator too. But even that can change too. According to my lifeline, I'll be a very old lady. My husband too. He's gonna be a very old man, because we're both stubborn. Maybe. I don't know. That's where it stands right now, this very second. As for the next second, or the second after this, who knows? Think of it. It's a big, giant conundrum. It's a big, giant paradox. And you know what? If you want to expand your mind, you can always just think yourself into a paradox And then just back away and be like, whoa, life is bigger than I thought. But you're never going to have a good life if you don't check your attitude and check yourself. I strongly advocate in someone looking at themselves from the inside. You know, looking at their mind, what makes them tick, what makes them them, and look over all the events and things that's happened to them in the past that made them, that had a hand in making them who they are at this very moment. Sit down, be alone, play some white noise or something, and just look in. You'd be surprised at who you discover who you are. We do have a dark side. We do have a light side. So, yeah. So I hope this helps somebody. Love and light to you all. Have a great day, and I wish we all have a really good day. Be safe. Bless you.